Hey everyone, Tom Miller here, leadership coach and human behavior consultant. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have been in a cell phone conversation with a client, or maybe it's a prospective client or significant other, but whatever it is, the conversation is really important to you. And you are nailing your points. You are getting your points driven home. You're selling your services. You're selling yourself, whatever it might be. And all of a sudden you start to realize, am I talking to myself? Because there's no one on the other side. And you don't know, at what point did I lose connection with this other caller? So then you look at your phone, you see you got 3 bars and you're yelling at your phone, oh, crazy satellites, and you try calling the person back and they're trying to call you back and you can never connect. You see, unfortunately, many leaders follow the same process when they're trying to connect with their people, with their teams, or making points, or making presentations. George Bernard Shaw taught us that the greatest illusion in communication is that it's actually taken place. So just because we say something, it doesn't mean that anybody heard us. Doesn't mean anybody's listening, or they may mishear you, or maybe they just have completely tuned out your message altogether. So during this year, I really want to focus on communication because I believe it's the most important skill to advancement and to leadership, and leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. So the first principle and a practice that I want you to understand is connecting is not about you. Connecting is all about others. Think with me real quick on who's that person who has the most influence with you. Can you picture that person? I want you to picture them in social and professional situations, personal and professional situations. What's their demeanor? Are they talking like 100 miles an hour? Or are they sitting back, seeking to understand, asking questions, and listening to people? And sometimes you look at it and like, gosh, why are they talking to that person? But they treat everybody like a 10. They add value and see value. That is why they're such great connectors and influencers with others. So one mistake that leaders make, and whether you're in a leadership role and you're speaking to audiences, or you're a public speaker, or whatever that may be, right? We all speak to influence others, but one big mistake that people make is instead of listening to understand, we listen to reply, right? And we try to top their story, and we let our ego drive our processes. Okay? Our processes of communicating and connecting, no matter what the situation is. So one thing to remember when you're making presentations, immature speakers worry more about looking good. Right? They perfect their PowerPoint. They're more worried about their PowerPoint than the actual teaching points. They're more worried about seeking approval from the audience, trying to impress them, rather than press upon them the teaching point that they need to walk away with, the gems that they need to hear so they can have a better understanding, right? Or so they can move forward or become unstuck, or whatever it might be. Maybe it's executing on just the deliverables if you're talking to your team. So, I don't know about you, but I've never attended a presentation, no matter if it was an all-day conference or a 5-minute stand up and talk, and worried about, man, the PowerPoint's all out of whack, or I hope the speaker looks good today. I hope his presentation PowerPoint is perfectly designed. So I know when I go to presentations, I want someone to add value to me. I want someone to entertain me, and I want someone to give me the information, right? To provide for me the information to think through. So here's my call to action to you. 2 calls to action for understanding that connecting is all about others. Number 1, when you're in a conversation, listen to understand, not to reply. Okay, it's challenging for all of us. We're all narcissists, so practice listening to understand. And two, the next presentation you make or the next speaking event that you have, seek to understand the audience. Be more worried about hitting your teaching points rather than how beautiful your PowerPoint looks or how well maybe your tie matches your shirt or whatever it may be. Focus on adding value to others, and I guarantee in the long run, they will add value to you. Thanks. I hope this was worth your time. Check out our website, lbleaders.com. We would love to see you improve your communication in one of our training sessions. Have a great day.